Welcome to this week's episode where I travel through the Teton Mountains into Yellowstone National Park photographing landscapes. I go over some techniques like applying filters to your lens, my composition, and telephoto landscape photography. If you're new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. From soaring mountains to hidden waterfalls and elusive wildlife to stunning sunsets, I'm excited to film each step of the way. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Oh, she's a beauty. We're heading up into the mountains. It's day 3 of visiting the Teton Mountains. This is actually the Teton National Forest, and we're on a dirt road. There's a break in the weather. As you can see outside, it looks beautiful, but we want more of a canopy of color. Someone recommended this road, and then it goes up to a lake. So you never really know because there's a lot of different roads that kind of just wind up into the hills. Here are a few images over the last few days where the sun has periodically been shining through the valley. I grabbed my camera and I quickly captured some shots. As much as I love blue skies, sunny and warm, I would much rather take the rain and the cold to get some of these shots. Here's a couple of shots where I use my 500mm telephoto lens. I mostly use it for wildlife, but here I can find these subjects way off in the field and I can zoom way in, and it gives tons of compression, especially if you get low enough. The foreground's kind of bouqueted, and then that blue background that's in the shade really helps the subject pop in the light. This one I really like because the snow makes it look black and white in the background, making that nice warm glow of the grass and the sunlight pop. Take a look at the colors. Wow. I spin all the way around. There's the Jeep, and the colors just keep going and going and going. Take a look at all of the aspens. Wow. I think this right here with these trees is a good composition that I want to go ahead and set up and shoot. But this scene just looks so amazing. Obviously I'll be standing on the road and taking some of this. The nice thing is, off of a dirt road like this, is that I can get kind of a clean wall where if I go into the woods I might have things kind of in between and other bushes, that sort of thing. But I don't know, I lucked out. See if I can get the tripod out so I can get some higher f-stops to get everything kind of in focus, take some shots. But what a day. Now it's raining, but the soft light is really nice for some balanced exposure. But you know, this is what you do if it's raining in the mountains. You sometimes just take some landscape shots. I got my tripod set up and my camera, and the shot that I'm ecstatic about is this big tree right here, and then there's that big tree kind of on the left and the right side of the image. And yeah, it looks, in my mind, pretty sweet. Now I don't like seeing all the white because it's just a gray day, so I'm going to be cropping down, and I'm also going to be pivoting my ball head here to take photographs to the right, all the way to the left, include a few more of these beautiful trunks of the trees, and I can get a really nice pano. I'm shooting on the 24-70. I think the wide angle lens The 14 to 24, the wide angle lens, would be a little bit too wide, kind of shrinking these down a little bit. I like zooming in and getting a little bit more compression, especially with these trunks, and shooting multiple shots and then stitching them together. I think that's the best. But there's so much to see on both sides of the road and all the way up. I'm excited to see about more compositions. There's some verticals that I think work well with a little bit more of the canopy, trying to get something like there's this shot right here where I got the big one right up front and center, and then the next larger one to the left and a whole bunch of smaller ones. Very exciting. For the most part, I'm using the tripod to try and get as much in focus, so slowing the shutter down so that my aperture can be closed down to get more depth of field. I'm using a 2-second timer. And here's a shot that I really like. It's a vertical. I put the tripod up as high as I can because I wanted to see more of the canopy come down. Because if I shoot lower and tilt up, I don't get as much of the reds and this green in the foreground. Hopefully that makes sense. So right now it's kind of divided up into thirds, where I have 1/3 or a section of the frame is green, and then you got red, and then you got yellow. So that's why I extended the tripod all the way up to be able to get that shot. Of course, I don't really want any of the road in it, so I'm kind of moving tripod where I need to. But what's nice about this area where it slopes up is that you get way more of the canopy and also the reds up the hill, as opposed to, well, actually, it's just different. This is just a different shot that gives you, I think, more reds and greens. Whereas here, it's kind of flat, kind of looking down. I do see some pockets of sky there, but I get a more clean line of yellow, red, and then some greens kind of scattered throughout the image. There's just, the compositions are just endless. They're endless. Man, if you're loving the colors and the scene as much as I do, hit that thumbs up. That's my little plug for my video. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Back at this spot once again, where I've got the reflection here of what I hope to be some pristine, beautiful mountains. All right, I'm gonna mute myself and explain that this location that I've come to 3 times now has not worked out, but I did get a few other shots. So it's early in the morning, I'm here with other photographers, and we're really hoping for the mountains to kind of poke through the cloud or the fog to move, and it doesn't. So I'm explaining a lot of things and hoping for something to happen, and I think it's a good reminder to share that every morning, every day you go out and shoot, you might not get something. But I did walk away with a few other photographs, so we're gonna jump to that. Well, the sky does look amazing back here, and it does look really good over towards the mountains. So I am back down over this way and capturing these really cool trees and their reflection. Some of them will look a little bit like a spider web. There's this one over here just to the left of the log. I'm not sure how it will turn out. So the colors are beautiful. One of the peaks you can kind of see here, but the rest, the tops of the peaks are still in the clouds. That was really the shot that I was looking for between those evergreen trees. This is still beautiful, so I'm going to take a shot, maybe a little bit of a video. I have to bracket the images because there are some hot spots now up in the sky. And then maybe off to find some wildlife. We got to pack up camp and move further north up towards Yellowstone. Got to do that today too. Just the things you got to do. I headed back to the campsite, had a late breakfast, packed up and headed north to Yellowstone. Hey guys, we'll get back out into the field, but I want to let you know about a workshop that I just have posted. It is in Port Renfrew here on Vancouver Island with myself and another pro photographer. We'll take you to some amazing groves where you got these giant trees, as well as some beautiful waterfalls, some cascading right off into the ocean, and even botanical beaches, and so much more. So if you're interested in joining myself on this amazing adventure, please go to madshannon.ca/workshops, and I'll see you out there. Now let's get back out in the field where I talk about filters and more awesome landscape shots. Hello, hello. We are hiking down and we're going to capture some photos of this waterfall. What's some facts about this waterfall? We don't have any facts yet, but this is what they call the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. And this waterfall is one of the highlighted features. So, no research like we do with everything. We first go, see, photograph, and then research later. So we'll give you the information as we get it. This is the hike down. It's nicely paved because it's fairly steep. And there's bridges. Very fun here. We're getting closer. I'm not sure if we got the lighting quite right, but anyways, it's beautiful nonetheless. Come on! All right, so we're set up. It is sunset, still really, really bright, hot spots. But I cracked out some of my filters that I got from Freewell. It's their K2 setup, and it's great. It's just magnetic. I can just pop this off, and I've got a 6 to 9 stop filter. And I've also got a polarizer. Thought the polarizer would help maybe with some of the sky. So the filters that I got on here, obviously is to darken the whole scene. The clouds aren't moving as fast as I would like them to move. I was really hoping for these big long streaks with the sun. And so I slapped on a dark filter to shoot at like 2 minutes. And even at 2 minutes, I don't get a whole lot, but we'll see. I can't really tell a whole lot on the back of the camera. But I also got a polarizer. What's cool is if I open this up, it's got a magnetic. And then inside here is a polarizer that's also magnetic. And I can just pop that out if I want the polarizer to be out. This locks it right into place. so it won't fall off into the canyon. But I can loosen this and I can squeeze this right here and this on both sides. Let's do it. Let's take it off. And then it pops right off. And they give you this ring right here, this metal ring, and then that's what is magnetic to your lens. And look, there's a little leveling bulb right there. So that's pretty cool. So you can tell, you know, as far as polarization and set that all up. So that is their K2 system. So squeeze that. That pops on there. And it's not going to go anywhere, but just in case, you can go ahead and turn this little locking thing. You can turn this to however dark you want it. Really cool. Just slap that on. Voila. There are different types of filter holders and types of filters. For waterfall photography, we want to slow the shutter down and possibly remove reflections using a polarizer. If it's really dark out like night photography, you don't need any filters at all. What I was hoping for at this location was to slow the image down to streak the clouds that were moving by. Here are a few examples of what I mean. From a fast shutter to a long exposure. Now here are the photographs that I took at the waterfall with a long exposure. Now the photos aren't like the other photos you just saw. I still like the way they turned out. The clouds are a little softer with that long exposure, but I think it's the polarizer that did really well, making the blues really pop in the sky. So if you like this content, please give me that thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, think about subscribing. Also have links to the gear that I use down below. And let me know in the comments, do you use the same gear, different gear, or what techniques? Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you on the next adventure.